Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted his voice up and wept. Genesis 29:11. That must have been an awful sweet kiss if he cried.
I know, you want that. You want me to cry
every time we kiss.
Every time I kiss.
Why aren't you tearing up? This verse has always been strange to me. Frankly, kissing that girl and then weeping is hard for me to understand. Now that's J. Vernon McGee, not me. However, I'm of the opinion that this boy had a lonely trip from the moment he had left home. He cracks me up. We need to remember that from Bethel, he had to go up by the Sea of Galilee and up to Syria. He had to cross the desert. I suppose he had many experiences along the way. But when he arrived, he was very cocky. I'm sorry, I thought it said kooky. Kooky.
He was kooky cocky.
He was kooky cocky.
He was so cocky.
He was kooky. And greeted the men there in a matter of fact way as though he had known them all of their lives. He was just glad to see anybody, wasn't he?
Well, I got to thinking, shepherds probably had a lot in common.
Yeah.
So he like, oh, these are shepherds. I've done this before. I know.
Come here, guys. Let's talk about our sheep.
Yeah.
He asked them questions. And they probably, in a vicious way, takes the stone from the mouth of the well. I suppose when he greeted the girl, who was a member of his mother's family, he welled up with emotions and wept. That's the only way I can explain it. But I'm sure the next time he kissed her, he didn't weep. Jacob told Rachel, Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father.
I thought that she was so beautiful that it made him cry.
Me too. That's what I was thinking. No, that wasn't it. Really, truly, that's what I thought too. You'll notice that he calls himself her father's brother instead of uncle.
Yeah.
The Hebrew does not make a lot out of distinctions that we make today.
Right.
We've got it reduced down to whether a person is a kissing cousin or not. But in that day, if you were related, you were a brother. That's the way it's translated here, and quite properly so. But in English, we would say that Jacob was her father's nephew, and that he was a son of Rebekah, her father's sister. And it came to pass, how far am I supposed to? Oh, 14. Came to pass when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob's, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. Genesis 29:13. I imagine that Jacob had quite a bit to talk about. I wouldn't be surprised to find that he entertained them at dinner with his story of how he tricked his brother to get his birthright and how he used trickery to get a blessing and how clever he was. Probably he told about the night at Bethel too. He told Laban all these things. Laban said to him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of about a month. Genesis 29:14. Now Laban was convinced now that this was his nephew, and he says, you're my relative, so come in, make yourself at home. Now a month goes by, and notice what happens now. Jacob's not working. He's a nephew from a far country. He's come over to visit his uncle. I suppose he felt he ought to have free room and board there. That was like a relative that wouldn't leave. During that time, he's courting this girl, Rachel. At least he certainly has been casting his eyes in that direction. I think she was casting her eyes in his direction too.
And so that concludes J. Vernon McGee's commentary on verses 11 through 14. And Chuck Smith, the only thing he had is probably Rachel was like, who's this that's kissing me? Whenever Jacob's kissing her, it's probably a holy kiss.
Probably.
No, on the
on the
cheek.
cheek or the forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And